See, I was thinking the same thing. Katie, it's the summer. Katie.
Be so wonderful. Yeah, that's going to be so wonderful.
Shut your mouth.
That's too long, actually.
What is?
That
5
the shut your
months-ish?
mouth. No,
Oh.
it's just the live life. It's faster than that.
No, the ba-da-da in the background. That's what I was doing the shut your mouth too.
It's all for real. I'm telling you just how I feel.
I thought you were going to make a Be Real joke, I'll be honest.
Oh, no, but I need to be real, actually.
Oh, you can do that later. Not right now. Later
It's called
on.
being real.
Yeah, oh, you've already missed it.
I know.
I woke up, as you know how I already have, right?
Yeah.
I've told you how I woke up today. I'm not going to mention it on here, obviously. But before I woke up today, I was having these thoughts last night when I got back home. Because you're just excited to hear what I'm about to say.
I'm just like, I was having these thoughts, and
I
I'm
was
like,
having
this
these
could go
thoughts.
anywhere.
Yeah, right. So me and Katie were away this weekend to visit one of my
Yes.
friends for Eurovision today, the episode. That's, by the way, this goes out Wednesday. It's Monday the 15th. This goes out the 17th.
Getting a last minute
Yeah.
rewinding.
We're going to get better over the summer. No more university. Woo! But
I know I submitted my last assignment this morning.
I did it yesterday from the pub, which was like just couldn't have been more on brand with that. Yeah, so I come home last night and I was not feeling great. Not in like a sick way, in like a just mentally I was like,
Just
ugh.
drained.
But I think it's our town because it sucks here and I hate it. And we came from a nice place to
To
a
a-
horrible
to
place.
a worse
To a
place.
horrible worse place. And I was like, God, I wish I was more positive. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to become unbearably positive, like
I
on purpose.
hate that.
I'm going to force out as much optimism as I can at any point over the next 5 months. I'm going to, I want to be up earlier. I want to be proactive with rewind and writing. And maybe I'll even exercise. Who knows? I'm probably not going to exercise, let's face it. But I was thinking that. And as soon as I thought it, I was like, Katie will hate me if I mention this.
Do you know what?
So here I am telling you that I'm going to be unbearably happy this summer.
I woke up this morning.
Feeling like P. Diddy. Got my glasses the glued.
I'm gonna hit this city. I drank.
No, I was gonna. It doesn't matter. I can't say what I was going to say. Just 'cause it doesn't. Carry on.
I drank water, did yoga, and then took an hour-long walk to get here. So
You fucking pixie.
summer of rewind, baby.
You drank water, did some yoga.
And then walked an hour to get here. Yeah. And then
Really?
I've just eaten pasta,
Oh man,
which, like, I suppose it's not like
look at us.
it's better than a dunker, and it's not better than
It's
a
not
dunker.
better
But like,
than
it's better for me than a dunker.
I was 100% in on you just showing up with a dairy dunker
Yeah, no,
and
you're
dipping
right.
your fingers in some cheese. Like that's just
That's
what
not how I eat them, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
You crunch.
Stop it. This is why I have no fingertips left.
No, just cheese. Only cheese. Welcome to Doctor Who and an unofficial and unprofessional rewatch podcast where I, Tyrese, and my friend Katie
Hello.
watch and discuss episodes of Doctor Who starting with the revival in 2005. Once we complete that, we'll backtrack to the season, talk about classic Who. In between seasons, we'll discuss extended media, things like books, games, big finish, audio adventures, love and monsters.
Yep.
I've been calling it L.I.N.D.A
L.I.N.D.A.
because in my head, like M&S, M&S, B&M, and H&M, I call Mans, Bandem, and Handem. So this is now L.I.N.D.A.
Hand them over.
What?
Hand them.
Oh, what do you have those
the
guitar
fuck?
picks? I don't know. I just threw a guitar pick at you.
You've already given me one, and I just have it in my pocket at all times.
Do you really? Is it a red one?
Yeah.
That was from the pub that one time.
Yeah. Did you not give me that?
No, I think I can't say
Oh.
who did. I don't want to bring up names. What do you think about Love and Monsters?
As the premier Love and Monsters defender, like, it's good. Actually.
I'm not gonna fight you on that. Actually,
Like, controversial take. Love and Monsters is good. However, the stupid parts of it are stupid.
Okay.
But there's a good episode in there.
There is one. There is.
I'm just pulling my notes.
There is a good story in here. This was written by Russell T Davies. It was also directed by Dan Zeff. Have I written that? I can't read my own handwriting. Yep, Dan Zeff. Do you want to try and do a tiny summary for this of what happens?
Okay. Just off the dome.
Just a quick 1 or 2 sentences.
Okay, cool. So this guy Elton, he joins a group of detectives who actually, well, I say detectives, unofficial detectives. None of them want to be detectives. They just want to have some friends and
The Inner Sanctum.
yeah, they just want to chill and have some friends.
Yeah.
And then an evil Peter Kay is like,
That's
Hey
just Peter
guys.
Kay. It's just normal Peter Kay.
That's just what he looks like.
He's evil.
Um,
He's not the Absorbaloff, but he walks around with the white hair and the cane and the hat. Imagine if he did. He did that.
I think comedians should be more outrageous, so I'm down with it. But looking, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, Elton and his little gang of buddies get turned into a Jackie Tyler Black Ops squad.
Basically.
Yeah, and it's really sad.
This is a tragic episode.
This
in like a lot of ways.
It's very, very hard. Do you know what I was thinking when I was watching it, by the way?
What?
I think that if I ever was to write an episode of Doctor Who,
This is probably how it would
this
turn
is
out.
probably how it would go.
Yeah. I see that.
Like, I've
read it. I can see that.
Yeah. Not just that it is tragic,
Mm-hmm.
but just in the way that I'm like, I care a lot more
Yeah.
about the going on aroundies than an actual, like, banger sci-fi story.
Oh, I think it's always interesting to be like, yeah, you see this all the time, but what's going on over here?
Yeah.
What's this little thing?
You know, elephant in the room. Doctor and Rose, not here.
Yeah. You know when you go like to a new place, and I don't know, like you just sort of you see a desk or something, you can see a room full of like a bunch of stuff. There can be a giant TV on the wall, but you would rather go over to the desk and have a look at the things on it.
Yes.
This episode is that desk, and the rest of the season is the TV on the wall. Like, so I'll go through the little group here. We've got Elton Pope. Are you being real?
Yeah.
Whilst I'm talking.
I am. This is on air now.
Did I not get a chance to smile? Did you just? It's fine if you just upload it. But okay, we've got Mark Warren who plays Elton Pope, like our protagonist basically. Shirley Henderson is Ursula Blake. Simon Greenall is Mr. Skinner. Moya Brady is Bridget. Catherine Drysdale is Bliss, and Paul Casey is the Hoyks. That's the thing at the beginning.
The Hoyks.
I forgot what it was.
There's
called.
one of those in Torchwood.
What?
Yeah.
I assume you mean they needed to reuse the costume.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But what a costume it is.
Oh, it's
the
great.
looks
For a one-off
sweet.
thing. How insane! Like, why? Why make that for a one-off little thing?
Saw that apparently they didn't have a name for it until, like, you know, they had to submit like a creature thing for the credits, and then they were like, Hikes. It's not actually how it went down, but it's like
I imagine it's not.
yeah, it's how I imagine it went down.
What do you think of the intro, the little cold open where he sees the TARDIS, which is sort of like a mid. This episode's timeline is insane to me.
Yeah.
You would expect that to be the end of the episode or something, and then it ends up just being like this 15 minutes in, you get to that bit again.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, "You stupid imbecile, you."
Yeah,
That's probably not
no.
15 minutes in, I'm wrong, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of jumpies going on
Yeah.
around this episode.
I do think the intro is good. I enjoy Elton vlogging.
Yeah, he was really ahead of his time with the lifestyle vlogging.
Dan and Phil who? Dan and Phil and Elton. Can you imagine if there was those three?
Oh, the crossovers. Do you know
that'd
what? And
be-
we
it
would have loved
be-
it.
It would be so good.
We would have loved it at the time.
Oh, at the beginning, you know, in the What's New Scooby-Doo bit?
Yeah.
And you've got like Rose with
Yeah,
the thing.
love that, by the way.
Oh, it's amazing.
Love the Scooby-Doo of it all.
Looker from Pokemon, actually.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It runs
No,
past.
it's not. It isn't.
It
actually.
is. I couldn't even read my own writing, but that says that it's Looker from Pokemon. If I wrote it, it must be true.
One day, I will be like, Billy Piper looks like this person from Pokemon. And that will be the checkmate.
I bet I'm going to be a fit mum about it. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to be a fit mum about it.
No, because of Billy Piper, but Rose Tyler is the protagonist. Because she has the hot mum, Jackie Tyler.
Oh, so she's on her Pokemon adventure.
Yeah.
What does that make the Doctor?
Looker.
Oh my god, the
From
TARDIS.
Pokemon.
The TARDIS is the Pokeball. She is the Pokemon. God, it's getting meta. Is this one? The Doctor does a run,
Yeah.
run,
Yeah, he does.
and then Billy Piper covers the Hoyks in piss, just head to toe in piss. And you see him. He looks like, you know when beef is like tied up in the wrap. Imagine if you freeze it and then you take the string off, and that's the pattern that the Hoyks has around him. He's just
He
a
looks
beefy
like
Hoyks.
unsmoked loin joint.
Are you talking about the one that you held?
Yeah.
That was a.
It was an unsmoked on something else. I don't remember what it was.
It was a. Either way, it was a joint. Am I right? That doesn't sound right when I say it, because I just don't do a thing with myself.
I think we should bring Elton on the podcast personally, because I think he'd love it.
I think he'd love it. Mark Warren, what are you up to these days?
You want to come on the podcast?
Do you want to come on and talk about Love and Monsters properly? Just in general. I've seen The Confidential for this, and
Have
Fear
you?
Her, actually. I watched it.
Ooh,
It was like
okay.
last week, so I've got to
Yeah.
be... It was just whilst I was doing assignments, I was like, you know what? I'll pop a Confidential on. I was going to say Connie D, but I don't like that.
Connie D.
Connie D?
Docky Who? Connie D.
No. How about we never talk ever? Then they have the TARDIS is the most beautiful sound in the world. Do you agree?
I wouldn't say it's the most beautiful sound in the world.
If you ever heard a bird chirp, that's quite pretty.
You know, like the ones at 5 a.m. where they're like,
no.
Okay.
The TARDIS is the most beautiful sound in the world. I've just decided that is it. I do enjoy the whole vlog thing, because I just put, like, my note earlier was just like, oh, Elton is vlogging about the monster, and then I just sort of come around to the idea. I'm like, you know what, this is not actually that bad. And then him and Ursula go out and do the little on-location shoot, and he refers to these lesbians as severe.
You know what? Okay, right.
Severe lesbians.
I have a... Well, it's good to know that they take their craft seriously.
Right?
There's a line, maybe find it.
Okay.
Where the Elton is talking about his, like, doing stuff online. And what I have got written down here is it says the internet went into meltdown.
Yes. So, great big spaceship hanging over London. Imagine the theory is the internet went into meltdown.
Yeah, by the way, first of all, the computer explodes in that scene when he's like...
Fizzes.
It fizzes. It blows up. And here's my next thing. Because at first I was like, that's
Fizzy
silly.
PC.
Why would that do that? And then I was like, oh, okay. Maybe, you know the virus that Mickey had to put online that removed... Maybe it's that, right? Maybe that's what it does. But Ursula's site is still on there. So, this is a terrible virus. If anything that you do after that, you can still just have, right?
Yeah, it doesn't...
Any mention of the Doctor.
Up to now.
Like, if you make new content, I can't wait till Rewind is wiped from the internet by this virus.
I'm doing it tomorrow.
Cool.
I'm just going to do that for fun.
I like that we're not even getting to the end of season 2 and you're already like, you know what, pull the plug.
Yeah. Why not? I think that the reason I want to get into like why people don't like this at some point.
Yeah.
But I think we should do that in one go. Because I do have a thing here about that.
Yeah.
Because they recreate, you know, Rose and the Slitheen, which these are new shots too, so they had to redo CG and all that kind of stuff. Are. And that's expensive.
Which is my thing, because for a second I was like, oh, are we saving money here somewhere? And then I was like, no, we're not.
Not really.
Actually. But theatre, following this up, is quite inexpensive.
Yeah.
So...
And that was shot in like January, right?
Yeah.
Or something.
Also, I feel like this one will be jumpy on account of the fact that the episode itself is jumpy.
This like weird framing narrative that they try and do.
I like it though. I think it's like a fun way of doing it.
Yeah, the whole thing that I have is like when I'm watching it, knowing how the episode pans out, I'm going, isn't Ursula behind the camera? And she just like never interrupts.
I saw a thing about that. We'll talk about that later.
Oh really?
At the end. Yeah.
Okay. Because he fucks the shit out of that slab.
Yeah, I have issues with that beyond the immediate. They're like, oh yeah. No, that's gross.
Then I think this is like in the montage bit that I have my notes, where we see Peter Kay for the first time.
Oh, we not talk about L.I.N.D.A. Not about little members of L.I.N.D.A.
Because that's on the next part.
Oh Jesus!
It's because it's a montage.
Christ.
This is what I mean, right? He's talking about, so you get the Rose, the Slitheen, the Christmas Invasion stuff. Then you see Peter Kay.
Oh yeah, because then then I met so and so and so and so.
And then he's like, I'm not all about that. I also like ELO. And then he starts talking about them because then you get the call back when they start doing Don't Bring Me Down. And I'm like, this is so insanely like going to be difficult to talk about, because then only after the ELO bit, that's when his PC explodes.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, this is going to be jumpy as hell then. Let's just talk about things as they happen.
Okay, which is what we're trying to do, and
them,
it's not going well.
But yeah, so Ursula is the one who introduces the rest of the gang.
What on the... Wait.
Because they're talking and she says like, oh, Mr. Skinner said this, and he's like, who's Mr. Skinner? And then she's like, there's a group of us.
When they sat on the bench.
We do our little thing. Which, of course, because like, of course there would be people who, you know, are like, who is this man?
Clive.
Clive would have loved L.I.N.D.A.
Oh, Agents of Clive. Agents of Clive, man. Imagine that as a spin-off. How cool would that be? Agents of L.I.N.D.A.
Because that's the thing. Every single member of L.I.N.D.A. is great.
Yeah, I was
They're
thinking
all
that.
so likable.
I mean, I'll just touch on this now because I just think that it is good. And I see it a lot on Twitter now because, not to bring this whole thing down, right? I'm going to bring this whole thing down. I don't care. In like real life, currently, as of this date, 2020, whatever the hell, loneliness is at an all-time high. Like that's like an actual thing. People just in general are lonely, and I see like a lot of tweets that are like, "How the fuck, as an adult, am I meant to make friends?
Oh yeah,
without school or a job. Like if you are especially like content creators and stuff, because you know a lot of that stuff is done from home. Like you do it remotely, you're not out there meeting people. How you can't just run up to someone and be like, "Hi,
we're friends now."
friend."
Yeah.
Spit on the hand, do a little wet shake, and then you know, good to go. I like this as like these people are beyond school, beyond even like early adulthood, and they're just like, oh, we've made friends by doing this thing. And I'm like, this is a cool way of showing people making friends, because they all seem lonely in their own
I saw
right.
a thing, and it was saying that apparently like a lot of these filming locations are like remote, because it's like, oh, these people are like cast out from society, like in a way, like not explicitly, but like, you know, these people, but they're brought together in these places by this thing. The lass that plays Bliss,
yeah.
She was
Catherine Drysdale.
Yeah, she was the Chav in St. Trinian's. That's where I know her from.
Oh yeah, Taylor.
Yeah,
Taylor in St. Trinian's.
She has a baby under her bed.
A baby under her bed.
Yeah, there's a part where they go in and they do all the introductions to all of the like kids in St. Trinian's, and she's like, "Oh, this is like Taylor or whatever. Like these are the chavs," and she's like, "Oh, you calling me a chav?" And then you see her push something under her bed and hear her baby start crying, and it's like she, presumably her baby. That she just,
I
like,
would
has
hope,
under
right?
the bed. That's a banging film, by the way. If you've never seen it,
I haven't.
It's so good. David Tennant's in the second one.
I know that David Tennant was in it.
Yeah,
that's
he's
all
in the
I know
second
about
one.
St.
Jodie
Trinian's.
Whittaker was in the first one.
That's
She
all
told
right as well.
Cersei
I
Lannister
suppose.
she looked like she didn't have a pot to piss in. It was great. It's fucking. These movies are great, dude. Like straight out.
When we do a Scooby-Doo day, we'll have a St. Trinian's one afterwards, I guess.
Please, can we? Like, I'm not even joking. I'm all in on it.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, Linda's great, and I like to stop the episode at 13 minutes in and pretend that that's it. They all just made friends with each other and then started an ELO cover band,
and then accidentally did a bake sale in this warehouse.
Like when you watch a musical, and the second acts of musicals are notoriously incredibly depressing. So, like, anytime I watch Rent, I like to turn it off after the first half, and then I'm just like, all these people are friends and no one dies of AIDS. That's like...
I love the idea that, like, this turns into this nice, ooh, we've made this little delicious treat, let's all play a song, and then an alien just shows up at the door.
Yeah, right?
And I like it later on.
Drawn by the sounds of the ELO.
And then he just shows up there and he's like playing his little guitar, but it's actually his little cane with his little fisties on it.
All I could think about as well in the little ELO fucking dance party that Elton has is you know, when we were at uni the other day and they had that one song on the ad on the radio, and it started with Mr. Blue Sky. And I think about 3 times I was like, oh, Mr. Blue Sky, and then it just wasn't it.
We got
too far in before it was like, I could do this thing and da-da-da.
We got ELO cock teased far too much in that session. We were just trying to do our work. Skinner, I like it later on when he's like, Skinner's gone to the toilet, and he's like, we don't have toilets. I'm like, that sums up this entire setting.
Yeah.
Looking around, yuck. But it's nice for people to be doing that, I guess. The Inner Sanctum is a bad name, though.
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up. Guess we'll call it Linda. Because, at one point, we cut back to Elton, and he's like, you know, recording himself doing his little thing.
Yeah.
And he goes, poor Ursula. And I'm like, is she not there? Imagine if she was like, don't pity me. If you hit someone with me, they will die.
I'll say it now.
Let's get to it.
It's not. Elton's an unreliable narrator.
Is that the whole point of him?
I mean, it's not, but he never, but he does turn it around at one point, but, like, he says that she's there and he says it's filming, but at one point he's just talking to a pavement slab.
What?
Like, so it's on the trivia online.
Okay.
Episode contains a number of possible hints suggesting Elton may be an unreliable narrator, such as the above-mentioned Scooby-Doo sequence. In fact, we never see Ursula's face on camera at the end of the episode, and the slightly exaggerated performances during Elton's recap of his supposed presence at key events in the modern series timeline.
So he could just be making all this up?
I don't think the implication is that he's making
all
of this up, but I think, you know, which I like. I think the thing is with this episode is that I want to give it anything I can. You know, like, I want to give this episode anything that I can.
Because these characters are kind of endearing.
Yeah, they are. Because I'm like, Mr. Skinner. What is it?
Right, in his book.
Bridget.
The thing this episode does well, because I think Russell T Davies knew that you take the Doctor out of it, you need to do something.
Oh, well,
like,
everything else has to be 10 times, like, interesting.
And he gave each person just one little hobby, and you're in. And you like, and that, you know, that's like, you see Bliss playing the guitar that one time, you're like, oh,
well, she's just like art as well, right? She like makes the sculpture.
Yeah.
About what the Doctor never won't represent.
I love that line. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, Yeah, no, but like it did it because like when they're all going around and they're all talking and like Bridget's talking about how like her daughter's gone missing because like she like got addicted to drugs or whatever, and she goes down to London and looks for her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's really sad, and she's like crying, and I'm like, that's quite sad. It's
Everyone's
just like,
got their own thing going on, right?
yeah, it's like because I'm like all of these people go home and then they have their own lives.
I like the because I mean that is true. I think that's what makes everyone feel 3D, even if you don't see them for a while and they don't become your favorites, because this episode, infamously, is the one that people are like, ugh. But and it shouldn't. It should be Fear Her, because after today, I used to kind of enjoy Fear Her.
Yeah, no, I've never been.
I have changed my mind.
Never been a fan of Fear Her.
We're recording 2 today. That is why we will reference that every now and then, I suppose. Their theories of the Doctor, I think you hear like 2, and they're not that bad.
No, what is it? Because Mr.
They're
Skinner's
pretty-
like he's a collection of archetypes or something,
Yeah,
right?
and
And
I'm
I'm like, yeah,
That's
I
just
guess.
you as a writer, Russell T Davies, telling us like, oh, this is what the Doctor is.
But like, I suppose in a way, yes, like that's not wrong. What else have we got? Do you have it up?
Then what was the other one that they say? Oh God, I'm terrible at finding things on the script
We'll just search it. Search for archetypes, and then it'll be around that
Oh,
part.
that's true. Well, I don't remember it by quote. You do, because you are different to me. Bridget, all these different doctors come and go, but the single constant factor is this 4 police box.
Yeah,
And I'm like, yep,
yeah, that's
constant.
also
That's
true.
the constant thing
Which
with the Doctor.
let's be honest, like I imagine that well, obviously because of this virus and all this kind of shit, researching the Doctor is not as easy as researching like ancient Egypt or something, right?
Yeah.
Like you would actually need to put in like personal research work on that. So if you are starting with nothing and then you get to here, yeah, cool. Like actually, guys, you've really
And then after that, they form the Sparkless Amish Light Orchestra, is what I've got it written down as.
cool.
That's what I was like. These guys,
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay. Sorry,
No.
sorry, guy. I know you're all like middle aged and your daughter's gone missing and you're gonna be pavement soon. And Skinner, I don't know, draft
Poor
one.
Bliss as
Poor-
well,
poor
right?
Bliss.
Jesus.
Oh, enjoyable right cheek is our Bliss. I love when he's like fish and chips, rock and roll, and it's just like, okay, yeah.
That was L.I.N.D.A is a RTD recycle from another one of his shows.
Like as a group thing,
Yeah.
as a name for a group.
I think before it was like Liverpool Intervention Detective Agency or something, and he used it again, just changed it to London. But it was from another show that
That's
he
so
did like
good.
years ago, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that is too good of a
because
name.
no one's gonna even think about it.
Yeah, it's too good of a name to get away with, right?
Mr. Skinner is writing a novel. Respect.
God, I wish that were me. No, I don't really. I don't think.
There's the identity crisis bit coming in, right?
Yeah, we'll find out.
The big.
We've got 5 months to find out. Maybe.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Are we still doing that?
Jesus Christ.
Are we still
I
doing
don't
that?
know, man.
We
Maybe.
still.
Maybe it
Oh.
would be. Maybe we should.
I mean, I plan on doing it. I'll just show you how I do it if that needs to be a thing.
Yeah.
I'll just show you my entire wicked writing process and spoil everything that I have in my brain.
So Peter Kay turns up.
Peter Kay turns up. Well, one more point before Peter Kay does show up. These guys meet in this dingy, horrible warehouse all the time.
Well, it's under a library.
Okay.
It's a library basement.
However, how come not once they're like, guys, can we not just start doing this at a pub?
Yeah, right.
Maybe it's just me being pub.
Well, at least
I don't know.
if not at a pub, at least at someone's house, right?
Yeah.
Because like Elton's house. I mean, you don't see the full house, but like
somewhere
you
with a
could fit-
toilet.
yeah,
Somewhere with a toilet and maybe not a Peter Kay.
yeah.
What do you think of Peter Kay in this episode?
I quite like Mr. Not what's his name? I was gonna say Mr. Skinner, but that's not it.
Kennedy?
Mr.
Kennedy?
Mr. Kennedy.
Is it Kennedy? Peter Kay. Victor Kennedy.
Yeah. Yeah, I quite like Victor Kennedy. Don't love the Absorber Off, but then again, who like does? That's like
Yeah.
a wild complaint of this episode. But like, I quite enjoy him. The only problem with him is that it goes from like very serious to very silly very quickly, which I don't think is like an issue in general, but in this case it is, because what you get is a situation where all of the personal stakes with L.I.N.D.A and everyone, they're so high, and like then the alien is silly.
Yeah, and people just keep vanishing.
And I think it drags it down a little bit.
I mean, some scenes he is like actually killing it.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the things that I have with like singers and stuff a lot of the time, where I'm like, I do not think people should stay in their lane. You know, do whatever you
Yeah.
want. If you want to do singing and then you want to go away and write a comic book and then come back and do a TV show, like if you can do that, of course.
Yeah, of course.
That said, I don't think that is for everyone. And I think that Doctor Who notoriously recently has tried to get loads of celebrity guests in the last few years.
To varying degrees of success. Yeah.
And I don't know, Peter Kay, sometimes I'm like, you're selling this pretty good. Other times I'm like, oh, okay. It's just like a little bit still. I think he does well. I think the problem is everybody wants to be a villain because it just seems fun.
Well, apparently he was not. He wanted to, or whatever, because he was supposed to play a different character.
Yeah, he wanted to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
Because I think it was season 1 they wanted him on, and he was like, Then they offered him a bad guy in this.
I think it was something like it was too much like one of his other characters, so he wanted to play a villain instead. But well, then the thing is, the other unescapable problem with this is the Blue Peter of it all.
That design and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that is silly. I mean, it was drawn by like a,
like a child,
like,
right?
Like 12-year-old kid. I don't know how old
yeah,
the kid is.
like a child. And I'm like, yes, this looks like a child would draw an alien. And
He was in the Confidential.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. I'll see if I can find it just in the IMDb trivia bit. What?
Okay, sorry, no, I've just found something there that I saw online, which we'll talk about in trivia, but it just clears something up. We'll talk about it later. The first one, right?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, at the Torchwood?
No, that
underneath
one.
it?
Yep.
I didn't get that when I was watching it.
I didn't get that when I was watching it. I was going to ask you if you did, but then that just tells us what it is.
Is it written down?
Oh,
I will get to it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll talk about trivia.
The Absorbaloff was designed by a young boy named William Grantham. Or Grantham, I don't know how it's pronounced. He had won a competition to design a Doctor Who monster run by the BBC children's TV program Blue Peter in 2005. It does not say how old he was, so never mind. Well, there goes that dream. I don't hate this design. I don't love it either. I think that for a creature, I don't know what the prompt was is my problem, I guess. As someone who has done art, I'm like, what was it just do whatever you want?
I imagine it was just design an alien for Doctor Who.
Because if you design the alien and you go, he can absorb people, then you have also designed the premise that Russell has to write around
I assume
that,
right? The kid probably got a little bit, like I imagine it was like, draw an alien, tell us what it's called, tell us what it does, right?
Yeah. I think the concept is fine.
Apparently it was supposed to be huge as well. The Absorbaloff was supposed to be the size of a double-decker bus.
Which was obviously as per a kid's imagination.
Yeah, which was like a budget thing that didn't end up happening.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
If it was like a do you know, like when it's like, oh, black hole will get bigger and bigger and bigger the more it consumes, like that kind of thing. Then I think that would have been okay. For some reason, Victor Kennedy doesn't wear gloves.
No,
that's the one thing that would fix his problem.
Right.
And you can't, like, no one can be like, well, gloves would be absorbed. His clothes aren't, so it's fine. Pop some gloves on that bad boy, and he'd be fine. I've got eczema.
Yeah.
I've got eczema. They do that thing that Danny Boyle did with Christopher Eccleston in 28 Days Later, where they take someone northern and they make them southern. Because evil.
But the Absorbaloff is northern.
Because southern evil. But the Absorbaloff is northern. Tastes like chicken, and you go, oh, it's immediate change. Like, this one distinction. But I also guess Peter Kay.
I mean, I understand to an extent, is it like this is supposed to be London? Yeah. And then, because Bridget's northern too, and they say she travels up or travels down.
Yeah, she travels down.
She travels down every weekend or whatever.
God, I love that Lee Evans is well utilised when he's in this. God, if they'd ruined that for me, like, as a thing, I'm glad you're not watching that one with me.
Furious.
The smile that comes on my face when Malcolm comes on screen is genuinely, it's not okay, actually. We get a Torchwood mention when he comes in.
Yep.
He's like, something, something, something Torchwood, which is what they always say. The noise, when... I don't know. Is it like an audio clip that he just plays of the TARDIS from the Torchwood files on the computer?
Surely. Well, he says that like the video cuts out and then the audio
triggers like a legitimate PTSD response in Elton, and I was like, leave him alone.
Yeah,
I felt so bad for him. I was like, dude, pause it.
There's like another thing that I'm like, this episode has stuff in there.
These are
really good.
They're all 3-dimensional. I guess if everyone is 2-dimensional, then it falls.
Oh yeah.
But everyone is very okay here, even though, you know, you get to this point, and I think gradually you start forgetting that this is a Doctor Who episode. And not in that you forget the tropes, is that you forget the Doctor is meant to be here at all. Yeah. I think if the episode doesn't do that, then it's dead. If you are sitting here and watching it and going, but where's the doctor? Then it's there's no way you're getting away with this. But I don't. I watch this episode and I'm like, yeah, just get on with it. Just enjoy.
That's like,
do what you do.
I have been reading this book
At Childhood's End.
I've been reading at Childhood's End.
I did the templates for that, by the way, because I was just trying out different colours and stuff.
Sweet, you'll have to show me.
I will. Do it on the break.
That's very good. To anyone who has not read this book, it's literally page 70 or something before the doctor and the gang, the fam, turn up.
Oh, is it all of them? Is it all of the fam?
The fam is there, all of them.
I can't wait for you to explain this book to me like I'm 8.
Yeah, they all turn up, and the thing is, like, pretty much there is like a little prologue bit. Yeah. But the first however many chapters are all just Ace just living like her adult life and stuff, and everything that is going on there is so interesting to the point where for a hot minute I was like,
just let this whole book be about her.
Are we just gonna do this? Because I was like, I'm into this, and like with it being called At Childhood's End, then I'm like, hypothetically, it could.
Yeah.
And then I closed the book and I was like, oh no, but the doctor's on the cover, so I guess.
Yeah.
But like that's another one where everything else that is going on around the doctor stuff is so like sort of interesting that by the time the doctor does show up, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, you're in this.
I mean, I'm excited to hear about it. The thing that I had, and I have this, I've listened to a bit of Past Lives. The problem that I have with that is that there is this part at the beginning where, the degeneration thing is happening, you hear all these voices. And I haven't seen Classic Who, so I'm like, which one?
Who are you?
Like, I know that for you, you'd be able to just like shout the number out as soon as it happens. And I'm like, was that 6, 7? Was who? But this isn't about those things anyway. Kennedy kind of tries to protect him, which is weirdly hilarious because this is right around the part where he, on Bliss, just because that's pretty quickly. Bliss goes and gets married.
Yeah,
she goes and gets the wedding.
The thing is, as well, that's like another thing that I sort of have to say, because first of all, if my fun little friend group required me to start bringing a scientific calculator to meetings, I'd be like, I'm done.
I'm not paying for a Casio.
Yeah, like I'm not doing this. But that's another thing. I'm like, I know, like, because how long do you think, they don't put a time frame on it, but how long do you think L.I.N.D.A has been meeting pre Victor?
I think a few months.
Like long enough that they open up at least anyway, right? Like long enough that
the focus has shifted from the doctor to their hobbies,
right? Because I feel like, with Bridget being like, oh, like my daughter's gone and all this kind of stuff, that's not the thing that you tell total strangers who you just hang out with.
Well,
so
some people do. Some people are comfortable doing that.
But I'm like, it feels like these people know each other like quite well, which is why as soon as he comes in and then Bliss goes, it's one of the things I'm like, you kind of just move on from that real quick.
Yeah,
which for the sake of the episode, I get it. But
I mean, when they walk out, Ursula says, doesn't she? She's like, well, it never felt like work before, and they're all carrying books and stuff.
At one point, he does. I think it's after Bliss has gone and Bridget says something, and he goes, Bridget, don't make this personal. I don't like to be touched literally or metaphorically. Thank you very much. I haven't got the time.
I picked up on that. That's when they're showing promo pictures of Doctor Who on the projector, and I'm like, that's just promo from Rose.
Yeah, I've seen these images.
I was like, that's in the gallery online. I've
seen these before.
I almost used it in a thumbnail. You can't fool me, Peter Kay.
Because of course this is when the plan goes into action, right?
Yeah,
the infiltration plan.
That old lady, she's on IMDb. I'm gonna dox you all over. Bella Emberg, who plays Mrs. Croot, is her name. The woman on the street that just like grasses up.
Yeah,
Rose and Jackie
speaking of doxing all over, she goes like, these people. They live here.
That's Rose Tyler. Her mother is Jackie
Tyler. Her national insurance number is.
Yeah. She worked here. That blew up. Now she's time traveling. How do you know this lady?
Yeah, right.
This episode, these 2 episodes do have 2 old ladies that are like batshit crazy, and I love them both.
If someone came up to me in the street with a picture of you, and they were like, "Who is this?" I would be like if I didn't recognize the person, I'd be like, "I don't know." Like,
you'd immediately, I'd sell you out so fast.
Would you?
Oh yeah.
If it was a person that we both collectively didn't know, and they had to ask me who you were, I'd be like, I don't know who that is.
I'd be like, this is my friend Katie. Here is her middle name, her surname. Here's her mother's name. Here's her father's name. Here's where she lives. Here's where her mother lives. These are the names of her siblings. This is her favorite vape of choice. I would give them everything, and then I'd be like, are you going to... And then I'd get stabbed, and I'd be like, oh, it was for nothing. And then I would just fall on the ground and have an asthma attack and choke on my own blood and die.
Yeah.
Love and Monsters. Love and Monsters.
Jackie Tyler loves a pub quiz.
By the way,
I
wrote that.
Did you get that? Oh, baby.
I was like, Jackie Tyler loves a pub quiz.
Does she want to come to ours?
Did you want to come with
Every
me?
Sunday, does she want to come to the pub quiz with us?
God, she said it. She said it, and all I thought was that's why she's on my Be Real. My caption is "Marry Me" or something
I
like
saw.
that. Yeah, because she said it. And then she showed me her underwear, and I was like, pub quizzes and underwear. God, come here, jury, pop that away. And then Ursula, one heck of a chest.
Yeah.
You right? I'm just saying, Ursula said it, not me. Anyways, they do it. That's a very quick and fast, like, flirting.
Yeah, they do the thing that I really like, because one of the things that I love in any movie ever is, you know, when it's like, okay, we've got to come up with a plan, and then while they're describing the plan, like in voiceover, the plan is happening, which is like
the
kind
heist
of,
thing.
Yeah, which is like obviously kind of what Elton does here, where he's like, step one.
Spider-Verse does it, right?
Yeah,
when
right.
They're breaking into the thing, yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy as well.
Third one or the first one?
The first one, the prison escape.
Yeah, I haven't seen
when
that
Rocket's
in a
like, you gotta do
few
this
years.
thing. You gotta do this thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that on.
But like, yeah, Elton's like, step one, do this thing, and then Jackie turns around and like does the thing. And he's like, step two, this thing, and then you know, and then later,
step 3.5, look at her underwear.
And then
Elton,
like
look at her.
all the members of L.I.N.D.A are like, wow, you like the complete infiltration. You did all of it, and he's like, yeah, I did.
They ask him how, and he's just like, never mind.
Yeah,
never mind. Actually,
what is it? What did they say?
I'll just type in steps.
I was gonna say because like.
Oh, it's Skinner says, "Oh, it's amazing. You've achieved steps 1 to 4 in precise order. How did you manage it?" And Elton just says, "Well, I had to work very hard. She keeps everything close to her chest," which is when Ursula says,
"Hell of a chest."
Yeah,
one sec, go up, scroll up. It's before that's when they're
this
in
is
the laundrette in it. Yeah,
laundrette. What are we talking about?
Step 1, engage the target, and then Jackie's like, "Excuse me."
Yeah, step 1, engage your target. Find some excuse to start a conversation. But how was I going to do this? How? Elton puts his shirt into a machine. Then step 2, without provoking suspicion, get on first name terms with the target.
And then Jackie's just like, I'm Jackie.
My name's Jackie, but yeah, she does it.
Yeah, she's.
Wait, is that the whole?
Yeah, that's the whole bit.
The whole joke is that she is doing these steps,
yeah,
not him.
Step 1, find a way to engage, and then she's like, oh, you've got change.
Yeah.
And then introduce yourself, and she's like, oh, I'm Jackie. Was it step 3?
Integrate yourself with a joke or some humorous device, and that's when she flashes him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Elton, here we are, complete strangers, and I'm here flashing you me knickers. Step 4, find a subtle way to integrate yourself into the target's household. Mind you, I'm only down here because my washing machine's knackered. I don't suppose you're any good at fixing things, do you? And Jackie just does it all.
Like I enjoy the whole like him just getting on with it, but I just didn't realise the joke of he is saying these things that he did, but he never did any of them.
He doesn't do any of them. And the best
genius.
part is there's a part where it's between step 3 and step 4, right? Where he's like he does like a little like psyching himself up thing, and he turns around, and then Jackie's like, by the way, and just like fucking home runs
God,
it.
if you're listening to this, I bet you didn't expect us two to enjoy this episode as much as we did,
right? I'm sorry to all of the Love and Monsters haters who just like turned into absolutely like, you know.
Yeah, wait till next week. We can all hate together.
Here is a rag on this show, and I'm like, actually, Love and Monsters is a gem.
It is. So
now is when it gets sad, though. I think from this point on,
because you get the point of view of Jackie being left on her own, and I'm always like, oh, you need a hug. You just need a hug immediately, please.
The part of it that I can't remember what exactly she says, but she's like, oh, put the telly on because about it being quiet.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, because you're there.
I can't stand the silence.
Yeah, because you're there by yourself.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, Jackie.
And the thing is, and I hate to say this, Rose, this is a time machine. She never has to be left on her own ever,
yeah,
actually.
exactly.
That's not how this works.
I mean, I'm sure we've said before, right, about keeping somewhat parallel to her actual...
I assume so that
biological timeline.
So that she doesn't show up 10 seconds later, age 50.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. But even...
You don't want to lose that time with your daughter.
Even still, I feel like, go on adventures through the week, come back on the weekends.
Like Jackie and the Doctor are some old couple that have split up, and so like now they have to split
they get custody of Rose.
Yeah. I stay at my mum's every weekend because her and the Doctor don't get on.
You know when like people go through a breakup and they're like, I'm getting a haircut now, and the Doctor's like, I'm getting an entire new regeneration.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna go wear some new skin, and it just like goes away.
Comes back as another dude.
What's that bright light? It's Gallifrey and piss mist and a new man covered in it. This is a primary school. Oh, no, I can't say that. No, actually, never mind. I'm gonna breeze past it.
I'm gonna cut it, I think.
Oh, fine. You know when Skinner and Bridget did a little kiss?
Oh, yeah.
And then Ursula's like...
Was that a little kiss that I saw?
And it was on the cheek.
Yeah.
And then she's like... So if you have to get your own way, will there be more happening?
And
he's like, yeah. I wrote in my little book of notes, primary school ass flirting Skinner, spit in her mouth. Which I know, judging by your reaction, is just not. You.
It's like, Bridget, come here.
No. I want the preamble too. I want the Bridget, come here. Like a proper
Flegging on her.
I want her to feel that in newtons. Do I have to cut it? Or should
Not that bit. Not that bit.
No, the whole bit. I'm like, nah, it's fine, right?
Cut around it.
They're both well of age.
Cut
It's
around
okay. No, I'll just leave it now. Actually,
do you imagine? I mean, like, obviously they all get turned into Peter Kay food, but like, could you imagine? Could you
it's like a Happy
imagine
Shopper cat
bliss?
food. It's 49p, but it's just the observable off on the
Peter Kay
side. Clombits. I don't.
Okay, what's wrong? You badly
It's your clombits.
Imagine being Bliss and like
Fucking
you
he
start
looks like
this.
phlegm, doesn't he? Doesn't he look like phlegm with faces in it?
I'll
You
spot
know when
things out
someone
bigger
pulls
than
out a
him.
crisp and it's like, look, I found Diana's face in a walker. I found Peter Kay's face in me phlegm.
I would have loved this episode. But like, yeah, imagine being Bliss and you get all these like new pals and stuff, and then
you're an ass cheek.
I was gonna say, and then you're a fifth wheel, but yeah, that'd be a bit worse.
Oh god!
Like all of these people get together and she's just kind of like, I made another sculpture.
Do you know what? Do you know who I want to see meet?
Who?
After this bit where Elton is like under the sink and Jackie just starts staring at him. That's not as much cake as 15 has. Can you imagine? Do you I reckon, like, with Elton, she's like, man, you know, for Levi's, whatever. Like, and he's doing his little plummy thing. God, what are you bent on that man? But, like, imagine if she sees, like, Shooty Gatwa coming as 15. Do you reckon she'd be like,
She'd get
immediate
the
slap?
dressing gown back out in a second.
Yeah. I think I did actually write that. I was like, oh, he's in her flat. Anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
Anything can happen.
Like, all of the fixing. Oh, also, there's another little thing in here as well when she's like, oh, I had this mate who used to do that, Mickey.
Yeah.
And he's gone now.
Does she know? She doesn't know that he's in a parallel universe.
I don't...
I think she assumes something's happened.
The thing is, I imagine that what she knows is that he's gone, he's not coming back, but he's happy. I assume that much... Because, like, the thing is, as much as, you know, like we were saying in that episode,
yeah,
Rose and Mickey have been friends their entire life. So Jackie would probably, you know, sort of feel some sort of motherly instinct to him. I imagine that she would at least be aware that, like, if not, he's trapped in a parallel world, because, you know, I feel like Jackie's brain doesn't understand, like, time and space things. But I feel like she knows that he's somewhere and that he's safe and happy and stuff. I think that after Christmas Invasion and, like, Slitheen and stuff, I think that she will be like, oh, something has happened. Not a negative thing, but something. Well, I assume that, like I say, Rose and the doctor would have cleared up. Like, he's alive, he's fine, he's just not coming back. God, can you imagine the panic? Just being like, what is it? What is it? What is it? Yeah, I know what happens around you two. What horrible thing has happened to this man? I'm like Elton in this scene, because I'll be honest, as many jokes as I make about Camille Kajiri being, like, wife material, if she came up to me to where he is and he's, like, backed into the wall, I'd freak out too. She has never sent a mixed signal in her life, has she? No. Jackie Tyler knows what she wants. She'll cover your own piss and tell you to take your shirt off. She's all ruined now. We all know that was red wine. That was red wine. We all know that was red wine. And she's listening to Break My But not in English. Say you love me again. Not on Kasingle though. Yeah, no, not what? Doing a joke from a show you haven't seen. It's fine. Is it a Glee thing? No. Okay. It's a bit one day at a time. Is that another RTV thing? It's a what am I thinking? It's a sitcom. It's really good. But there's a joke that the car that they trade in, it has like a single. Yeah. Of Unbreak My Heart, and then they get the new car and they're all singing it, and it's like kind of sweet and stuff. That's really funny now. I had to explain it. What else happens here? Laughing my titties off. Elton brushes his teeth with his finger. Everyone's done the shame brush. I think everyone at some point has done a shame brush with their index finger. Everyone's done it. What age do you think you did a shame brush first? First? God, I don't know. As a shame brush, probably as a teenager.
Yeah, so
without
I'm like,
realizing.
I'm like 15, 16, you stay over at a friend's house and you're like, oh, I forgot my toothbrush.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to shame brush.
Yeah, or the mouthwash.
Which is just polishing, like, just on your teeth, just...
Yeah, or
Yeah,
like you say, or the mouthful of mouthwash
yeah,
if
yeah,
there's,
do the
if there's
mouthwash
nothing.
too.
But I probably did it as a kid without because I used to eat toothpaste when I was a kid.
Did you?
Yeah. But like the kids one, you know, that's kind of like a little bit fruity.
But you did that when we were away this weekend. You haven't stopped doing that.
Yeah, why do you think there was 2 empty tubes in the bathroom? I got in there and I was like a froob.
Like 2 fingers.
Yeah.
Just one horrible.
Oh my god,
that
could
would
you
be
imagine?
disgusting, right?
Could you imagine the coating?
Shut up now.
That's the gross part, by the way.
Yeah, there is that. So this is where Elton takes his shirt off and he walks back out, and Jackie's like on the phone to Rose. Is the assumption, right? Is that your
And she
daughter?
says that
Yeah.
she's gone and she's sad about it and stuff.
Yeah, and she's like, and I guess she feels like a fool. Everyone's done that when the mood is killed, and it's like, oh, I have to shoot this down now.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
she gets all dressed up, right? Like she gets all.
Yeah, she's all niced up for it.
Yeah, she puts a little skirt on and stuff,
And then he comes out topless, and where she would be like, "Rrr," she's like,
yeah, she's like, oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, and then he's like, okay, and that's
It's by the way him coming in because I'm like, yeah, I hate the whole concept of like the ick or whatever. I think it's stupid.
yeah.
But like him being like, it is hot, but it's about to get hotter, and like jumps into the doorway. I'd
His
be
hand
like,
on his-
yeah, I'd
hand
be
on
like,
his
get
hips,
out,
like.
actually, get dressed and leave.
Is that what would?
I wouldn't be interested in sleeping with that man after he did that.
I don't think Elton's your type. I'll be honest.
No, he's not. But that's fine.
You know who is?
Who?
The Hikes.
Shut you.
The Hikes is definitely
you.
one for you.
Sure.
Bit of you, innit?
Sure.
Yeah. So Elton gets his shirt back on, and he realize this is the point. You don't get any like little mute flashes of her, but this is the point that he says later on is where he realizes that like Ursula is the person that he wants to be with,
Yeah.
not Jackie. And so he's
yeah,
like,
when he's
okay.
in there and he's like, I do like Jackie, but there's someone else I like more.
Yeah, and so he decides to just friend zone himself. He's like,
Yeah.
you know what? We'll be friends. I'll go and get us a pizza. We'll go do this. She goes through his pockets.
Which I know that
Strange.
we do not see that happening.
I would have appreciated the 10-second clip that it would have been.
Could you imagine though?
The reaction.
Yeah, because I'm like,
There are two
what?
scenes that aren't in this that I want to see, and that is one of them.
What's the other one?
I want to see what it's like when Jackie tells Rose what happened.
What happened? Yeah.
I want to see how she tells that, because one, haha, and two, Rose would be livid.
Well, she is.
I mean, yeah. Well,
But
I
this
mean,
is-
like at the time when
Oh,
that
yeah.
when that wound is fresh.
Because this is a Jackie episode.
I mean,
ultimately,
a
right?
little bit. I think like a third to a quarter of it is Jackie.
Because the Jackie,
Right.
like, I'm not gonna lie, you know, as a Jackie Tyler lover, this is my favorite part of what's going on.
Oh, you mean of this episode? Oh yeah, the Jackie Tyler bit
The
is
Jackie stuff is the best, and I
because
think
that's the home for us. Everyone else is foreign. We go to Jackie and we're like, oh, we know you.
yeah, and I like to see the coin flip of it as well. Like I say, that we can be like, oh, Rose is having such a
Mhm.
good time and do all this, because I think that it does something to the reality of the end of the season.
Yeah, which is coming up. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I'm gonna tell you a thing later that you'll probably enjoy about that actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, when he comes back, right? This is disgusting. Just gonna say this, not
Right.
in like a actual ew way. I just want to
Yeah.
be like, as a heartless person, this is disgusting. He's walking back from the pizza shop,
Yes.
got some za,
Yeah.
no caught on in the night, cretin.
Yeah.
right?
Weird, right?
Why leave the
With his
jacket?
shirt that is now wine stain removed
Somehow.
somehow. So my because it's probably wet, right? It's probably still damp.
Oh yeah, it
so
won't be
it's
dry.
unpleasant all around for this guy.
And you get the voiceover at him, you know, Ursula and all this, you know, he doesn't want to be, he knows who he wants to be with now. And he's carrying his pizza and he's smiling. Have you ever been that disgustingly infatuated by someone that you smile at the thought of them? Because I haven't. Seeing someone else do it makes me fucking vicious. Imagine if I was like, I want that. Give me that.
Human.
No, like I'm not gonna. I don't actually care. But I was just watching it and I was like, this is like a next level of like human purity that doesn't happen often. But
Yeah.
but I think it's one of those things that if you ever do that in real life, you catch yourself doing it immediately and you're like, oh, I'm a fool.
Yeah.
You're like, God, I'm an idiot.
I think it helps to de-scummify Elton.
Well, I think that this whole scene discummifies him.
It does de-scummify him, but
Because when he does speak to Jackie, like if he explained himself to her, I could see both sides of that.
because I have a note here,
Yeah.
and it says that if everyone had clocked, because Bridget's already gone by this point, right?
Yeah, Bridget's gone.
If they clocked on more to the people disappearing, and are like, we have no allegiance to Victor Kennedy at all, and want to be like, oh, you know, something's not right. Realistically, Elton could probably tell Jackie this.
Alien held me hostage.
Yeah, Alien held me hostage. I think that you could help me somehow. Because she could.
Because
she
you are
could,
connected to the Doctor.
Yeah, she could put a phone call in and like help him out.
You've killed a Slitheen. Why couldn't you kill a twin planet Slitheen?
Yeah. Which is another problem I have with the Absorbable. Not Victor Kennedy, but with the Absorbaloff. Which is that even later, when they're leaving, when Elton does his big stand up and he's like, we're all fucking off.
Yep.
Mr. Skinner is like, I'm going to stay. Because he's like, oh, we'll look for him together. And he's like, that sounds like the old team spirit and stuff. Could they not have just put in like a tiny little throwaway thing that the Absorbaloff is kind of telepathic and all, like just like a little bit? He's just got like a reason that you would be drawn in, because at this point, if I am one of these group members, already fucking 40% of the group is gone.
Yeah.
No explanation why. This weird fucking guy is turning up and making you stalk people and enter their houses. Like, if he just had a little touch of mind control, then I'd be finer with it.
Well, I think that's why you get this episode from Elton's perspective, because he lost his mother, and like you find that out earlier in like an encounter with the Doctor, which gives him more drive than anyone else, because everyone else is just, no one else really has like a full experience with the Doctor. They have just noticed him like in a Clive sort of way. But Elton has had like an actual encounter with him as a kid, and then he has an encounter later on, which we glossed over this. He has that encounter with the Hoyts when he goes back. Ursula gets up and is like, I will beat the hell out of you.
Yeah, because Victor's like, you froze, you stupid man.
Yeah, and that's when...
Which again, I'm like, if that's a PTSD response,
and
then
that's when he does the little foreshadowed note of most likely to fight back.
Yeah.
And then we get that in this next scene, basically, is where we're at now.
Yeah, do you know what part of this... Wait, actually, before we get into this next scene, find what it is that Jackie says to him when she kicks him out.
So I wasn't being are we going from there?
I wasn't being pervy or anything.
Are we going from there?
Yeah, we can do.
I wasn't being pervy or anything. I wasn't after her. I was looking for the Doctor. Jackie says, "Oh, I know that. I worked that out because it's never me, is it?" Elton says, "No, but that's how it started. But I changed my mind." And Jackie says, "Let me tell you something about those who get left behind, because it's hard, and that's what you become, hard. Not even going to make a joke because my heart is bleeding for you, Jackie. But if there's one thing I've learned, it's that I will never let her down, and I'll protect them both until the end of my life. So whatever you want, I'm warning you, back off." I like that bit. I'm like, oh, it's something about Tennant and Jackie more than Eccleston and Jackie.
They have a relationship.
They have like an actual, there's no venom there. There's like this clean slate that I guess happens when his face changes. And I think that whilst Jackie with Eccleston is like, you took my daughter away from me. And so she has this little bit of like, whenever Tennant comes back with her, and
it's like a son-in-law.
Yeah, she's got like a smile on her face and all this, and she knows
that
she's looked after.
Do you know what I think does it? Is the change between them?
I mean the regeneration.
No, but I mean that changes the relationship between them is after the regeneration. He stays for Christmas dinner.
Oh yeah.
Because in Aliens of London or whatever after that, then Jackie's like, well, if I can't split the two of you up, then at least have him round for dinner, and then they fuck off in the TARDIS. But at the end of Christmas Invasion, he stays and eats Christmas dinner with them. Mm-hmm. And I think that is what changes Jackie's relationship with him. Yeah,
no, I agree. That's a good point. Because, I mean, you get this with 11 a lot. He's like, I don't do that thing.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Which,
so does 9. 9's like, I don't stay for dinner. I don't do any of these things.
Yeah. Which in like a Doctor character way, I'm like, yeah, I understand. This man's riddled with PTSD and he doesn't want to get attached to people and stuff. And that's fine. But then, this obviously is like different and changes that relationship between the two
But
of them.
I think this, and I'll protect them both until the end of my life, I don't know when this was done in the writing process, but putting that up with the two-parter that we have coming up next with the finale... You see it.
Yeah.
You see that it's not even just like she's posturing.
Yeah,
you
she's
see
saying
it happen on screen.
It.
She claims to be Rose, and you're like, and no matter how scared she gets, she just keeps like braving through because she's never done anything like that before.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, like she's been involved in adventures, but
I can't wait for that two-part. By the way, I could have carried on watching today.
Excited.
Today, when you finished For Her, you're like, I just want to watch Doomsday and Army of Ghosts.
I saw the Next Time trailer, and I was like, dude, because the thing is, every time
get to that trailer,
I have like a whole thing where now, obviously my BBC iPlayer is set. I like continue watching every time.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it's watch an episode and then turn it off. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Because like
I want to watch more. I just want to keep watching Doctor Who and getting to have it run on into the next episode this time. Like,
was kind of nice.
Was really cool because now, especially recently with all of the hype that is building, I'm like, God, I want to do
right. The trailer. We haven't even. We'll
discuss. We'll discuss.
We'll discuss that maybe after Fear Her. We'll do a little extra.
Yeah.
Because Fear Her was shit. So we should do something good with that episode. Just for us. Just for us.
So anyway, what were we saying?
Oh, so Moaning Myrtle cries.
She moans.
She moans. She myrtles. She's on his chesticle. She's like centre chest.
Yeah.
Which it keeps her glasses too.
Do you know? Yeah,
I
that was
noticed.
funny.
Like, okay.
I also kind of like the fact that, you know, you can kind of see some other faces that are less sticky outy, like they are further,
like they've been
absorbed.
consumed. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's a cool touch.
How do you feel about the way the Absorbaloff moves?
It's so funny.
I hate it. When he
He, like,
gets but when he
when he runs,
he's
he's
Danny
like,
DeVito's about.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Imagine.
You're right.
Redo this episode and change that one thing.
Make it him.
Make it Danny DeVito instead. But no, like I mean,
Tastes like rum ham.
But he jumps up from the table, but isn't
He launches over.
It's
like,
like weird double speed.
yeah,
Like,
the
it's
whole
like
thing
slightly
is kind
faster.
of like that.
Yeah.
And we have a bunch of that in the next episode too. The
So
speedy
anyway,
uppies.
he starts absorbing.
So anyway, yeah, catch him sucking up. Okay, he's like a God. What is it? Scrub daddy.
Scrub daddy.
He's a scrub daddy.
He's a scrub daddy.
God, why did they call him the Azovaloff when you could have called him the scrub daddy? Scrub daddy. Yeah,
No,
scrub daddy.
I was gonna say something awful.
Good. What were you gonna say?
The suck daddy, and then I was like, no, I can't say
A
that.
muddy suck job from the Absorbaloff.
I can't believe you reminded me. I can't believe I forgot that you said that.
Doesn't it go like as a testament to the amount of dumb shit that I say that thing
Muddy suck job
is
just fell
something
through the
we
cracks.
forgot? How much horrible. Never mind.
It's times like that when I imagine what it's like for other people to be
To hear
heroes
our-
when we have a
'Cause
conversation.
I said that in a Primark
Yeah.
underground. Anyway, it chases him into an alley. Do you know what's weird about the Absorbaloff?
What?
Because like I assume when he changes, he doesn't burst out of his clothes like the Hulk. They are part of the illusion.
Yeah,
But he's wearing a clom thong. So he's wearing a clom thong.
for modesty.
Yeah.
Which again is weird. I mean, it's not from a TV making perspective, but like,
well, I mean, yeah.
why would
obviously.
this alien have any idea of human modesty? I don't know.
Yeah, I sent you that picture, didn't I, where it's in the confidential where it's Peter Kay talking, but he's only got the mask on,
Yeah.
and so he's wearing like a shirt and his arms are normal. So then the Doctor shows up,
Yeah.
TARDIS.
You
And
upset
he-
my mum.
Yeah, and I love the fact that he's not here for the Absorbaloff at all.
Yeah.
He comes out and he's like, "Someone wants a word with you."
Yeah. If Elton had
Am I
never
in
pissed
trouble?
off Jackie Tyler, he would be dead.
That's true. Am I in trouble? I'll cut that yawn.
Gets a good telling off from Rose.
Yeah, and you
By
can
the way,
see-
Rose fit check. Very brief. Like.
you like this one?
Yeah, she looks good.
Okay.
I like that she's doing something different with her hair.
The plaited
Yeah.
sort of yeah.
Yeah, looks good.
Happy for you. You're gonna dress like that now. Gotta imagine if you did like just started dressing incrementally like Rose from different episodes.
Until I come in blonde. Until I rock up one day blonde.
I wonder if I would notice if I'd be like, isn't the exact thing she wore in this?
I think you would notice if I went from wearing what I currently wear
That's true.
to
No, that's true. I can't
jeans,
imagine you in
trainers, blue jeans, trainers, and a fucking pink tracky top. Nothing wrong with that, by the way, but it's a departure. You'd notice.
I can't imagine you in even blue jeans.
Yeah, right. How wild is that?
Okay, you don't like it.
Take me back.
Make it go. Stop it. Too early. I'll kill. Yeah, the Doctor isn't here for him. That's fine. I just kind of realised at this point that there's no real Absorbaloff motive. He's just like, let me eat.
Well, he wants
He's
to
to
eat
get-
the Doctor because
to
the
get-
Doctor will taste good.
And then he wants to use the machine to get back to Clom, but we didn't know that.
Well,
either.
he's like,
there's no room for this.
He says that
exposition
he
other than
just
this last
wants
bit.
to go back.
Hungry. That's
So
all. He's
yeah,
just hungry.
he just needs a snack and a ride home.
Well, wait till he regenerates a few more times and you'll get a snack. Some cake is what you'll get.
Aye.
Get some cake.
Like I said, a run of 3 sexy doctors.
And the Doctor, for some reason, does this fake out thing where he's like, all right, I'll let him die. And I'm like, that's not, you wouldn't.
Yeah, because get to the bit because
I'm here.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, what? I'm this, I'm that, but don't ever mistake it for nice.
Yeah, he says, sweet, maybe passionate, I suppose, but don't ever mistake that for nice. Do what you want. And then Victor's like, he'll die, doctor. And he's like, go on then.
Yeah, but then the doctor's like, well, the others might have something to say. And it's like,
what?
Yeah, like, what are they going to do? Because then they just start pulling.
Yeah, and he didn't. If he had like somehow said the word "pull" in that sentence to like and like emphasized it a bit,
yeah,
and they all were like, "Oh," then I would kind of get it. But I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, because even again, Ursula is the one who now is like, I can read his thoughts now that he's absorbed me. A horrible evolutionary flaw, by the way.
Oh yeah,
of the Absorbaloff. Terrible.
Are you thinking about boobies? No, what are you talking about? No, I'm not.
So yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
The cane is broken. He is absorbed.
Yeah.
Definitely up there with some of the lesser CGI in this season.
Yeah, clam soup, not good.
Yeah,
not good.
And then here's a thing that L.I.N.D.A United, pull.
Is that what said?
It says right there.
I didn't.
Ursula there says L.I.N.D.A United.
I didn't even realize that she said that in the episode.
But yeah, the thing. It's a great line. It's funny when the doctor goes, "Elton, fetch a spade."
The way he says it, like all serious.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that.
I think this is one of the worst things that the doctor does.
For
anyone.
Because they say she won't die.
She won't age. Yeah.
He's gonna sex it up and she's gonna outlive him.
See the heat death of the universe as a paving slab.
Oh my god.
What happens when Elton dies?
She's Cassandra but hard.
Right?
She's hard Cassandra.
We can play rock paper scissors if we get someone put on something pointy.
What the fuck? Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Cassandra's the paper. Ursula's the rock. When we bring in Scissors Lady. Yeah, when we bring in Scissors Lady, then we've got a full game going. But like, this is awful. This is a horrible thing. Imagine Elton dies one day and she can't move. She's just chilling.
Yeah. Wait, when you say that you don't see Ursula's face, doesn't it cut to her?
Yeah, it does cut to her, but like, you don't sort of see her on camera for a bit. It's like, it's not great, but that was just written on a line, so. And as you know, everything that is written on the internet is true.
Yeah, and then there's a shadow that you get the Elton backstory of the shadow that killed his mother. That's not a Vashta Narada. It's just a regular shadow this time.
Yeah.
And it was like, got your mum, and then they do the Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
where she just walks away from him in the field, and it's like this symbolic thing of like Elton being left by his mother. But I guess she goes to the afterlife, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, okay. Spoilers for Jojo Rabbit, I guess.
That movie's been out for years.
2019? Yeah, I was going to say it was right before the lockdowns. I think it was like January or something.
Yeah.
I saw it in a cinema, which means it was definitely before the world paused.
I saw it in my bedroom.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
By myself.
Oh my god, that sounds so fun. Actually, that sounds not bad.
It was so good. It was from one of the mint takeaways from where I used to live.
I still think about that pizza to this day. Remember the time that I sent you a mushroom, what was it, chicken, pepperoni and mushroom pizza, and I sent it to you and you were like, I hate you for having that actually.
Yeah.
Just because you wanted one.
Yeah.
Deal with it, alright. I enjoy this epilogue actually.
It's fine.
I'm like, you know what, when we do a little after the thing to let us know, because you don't want, if Elton just disappears, it's like, okay, but you get his little, here is what happens to me afterwards, so you don't have to wonder a thing.
Yeah.
And then the episode ends, what would you give it?
You know what? All silliness aside,
I do that thing where I give it like 2. I'm like, it's this or this.
I'm gonna say it's like a 2.5/3.
See, I've given it a 3 to 3.5, but I think we rate things differently here. So it's like,
yeah,
I
would actually no 3. This is a 3. This is sitting comfortably at a 3.
Like just better than average. Oh no, I think this. I don't know. I'm like, this is better than average for me. I'm like, you know what? It's new. It only works once. An episode like this only works once. I'm glad that when they do other Doctorless episodes, they do it in a different way each time. So it's never just like, here is what is going on over in this corner of the universe. So some of the things that I think make this fall apart, it is made to work as your first Doctor Who episode.
Yeah.
You get the people talking about his background, being like, oh, he's this many archetypes, and the blue box is constant, and you also get you see clips from Rose, you see clips from World War III, you see, what's the other one? Oh, Christmas Invasion 2. And I'm like, the reason that I think a lot of people will end up clocking out of this episode quite early is because you're watching it and you go, I know this already, I know how this goes.
Yeah.
But I think it's not an episode that I seek out, but each time I come across it, I kind of avoid it for a bit and I'll put it off. But then when I do bite the bullet and watch it, it's always a pleasant surprise.
Yeah,
I'm always like, why do I dislike? I don't dislike this actually.
my thing is, like I said, like the silly stuff in it is silly.
Yeah.
Like the paving slab blowjobs and the big silly green alien, and a lot
Cover
of that.
Don't Bring Me Down
Yeah,
by Electric Light
a lot of
Orchestra.
that is very, very silly and kind of like not even silly in the so bad it's good way, just in the this is stupid way. However,
You've also got to think we met the devil last week.
yeah,
How do you follow that up?
But like, I think this is another one where a lot of the very serious dark stuff is quite serious and dark.
Oh yeah, it's not nice to see.
But I think that the tone isn't balanced. The scale is tipped.
Okay, yeah. It
Slightly more
issues.
to being ridiculous, but that does not detract from all of the other stuff that is like serious and shit.
I think I have a note about not in this one, in the next one, about the tone just being a little bit all over the place.
But yeah,
any trivia then?
I have a little bit of trivia.
Just a little bit.
Bit of trivia. Literally two things. One was that there was supposed to be more classic Who stuff in Elton's life. He was supposed to have encountered more. I think they said like his mother was gonna have been killed in like a different classic Who type situation that was going to involve like the Shoreditch incident.
Oh, like a story that happened in classic Who.
Yeah,
that you can
and there was
that.
when like the Loch Ness monster, Elton would have been in Scotland. He would have seen the Loch Ness monster rise. All that kind of shit. Like it would have gone on, and I'm like, it would have been cool. However, I don't think it needs it.
No.
And then also this thing that we saw there, that this episode contains references
to Saxon,
to all 4 arcs from season 1.
All 4? I'm pulling this back up.
The Clom one is just the fact that like Clom is the planet that then goes. That one's like a bit vague. That like Clom is just one of the missing planets.
Oh, from
and this is like the first time it's dropped. But yeah,
yes.
The bad wolf virus that wiped information
in the first season.
Yeah, and then obviously talking about Torchwood, and then
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Saxon leading the polls in the newspaper.
Is that on the newspaper? That he's
it's
reading?
on his
like
newspaper.
This?
Yeah, Mr.
You know
Saxon's leading the polls.
I almost paused it to read, to be like, oh, is there any little Easter eggs on here?
Yep.
And then I was like, you know what? I need to watch Fear Her. I'm already running a bit late. I'll just leave it. I'm fucking fuming.
Because in the first season of Torchwood, there will be parts.
Of Saxon.
It's not like that. It's not like explicit, but there is a couple of parts where characters will be stood talking, and then on like a wall behind them, there's like Vote Saxon posters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're getting another sort of thing like that with the next season, right?
Exactly. So.
Looking forward to all of this stuff. Is exciting to me.
I know.
I just think it's exciting. It's exciting for me to be back on Earth, because I know that Russell T Davies likes treating Earth very, very nicely.
Yeah.
Whereas other people go, we're on Earth and there's always an invasion. There's not always an invasion. Sometimes just things go wrong.
Yeah.
Flatline's pretty good for that, I think. For being like, this is just a weird thing that's going on in this area.
Yeah, I like Flatline, actually.
It's one of those that has a bunch of weird stuff going on in it, is having fun with itself, that I think we'll enjoy. But we'll get to that in 8 years' time. Is that everything?
That's it for Love and Monsters.
Why do I always feel like there's an extra thing that we are missing? Did you enjoy it? Did you get an hour and 9 minutes into this? God, once I edit it won't be an hour and 9 minutes, so that's going to be a wrong timestamp. Look at me looking like a twat. Where did we rewind everywhere? Not Dr. Horwind.
Dr. Horwind everywhere.
Oh wait, we've referenced that in the show. Maybe that's what that was.
Dude, that's what I fucking said to you.
I thought that it was someone we know. But then now I'm like, oh, maybe we've mentioned it.
We have. Every single week I make that joke.
Oh yeah, because you asked for it back.
Yeah. Justice for Dr. Horwind.
Yeah. God, the thing is, I already know that not many, as an adage to I know that we're winding down.
Yeah.
I know everyone's up in arms and I'm carrying this on, but I am worried that if this ever does actual numbers, you be careful with those crisps. Oh no. What if people do just start calling it Horwind because we said it once and then we never escape it? You hope that happens.
I hope that happens.
I can tell by your eyes.
I think it would be really, really funny.
I can see there's windy haws in your eyes.
Well.
Anyway, we'll see you next week for Fear Her. Or in 10 minutes for us for Fear Her.
Bye.
Bye.